Hi everyone, welcome back to the Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with another Rumour Has It video. We're talking about players linked to the football club in the upcoming transfer window. I know that's miles away because it's January, but there has been a few names linked to the football club in the last few months, and also some players maybe suggested by the fans that we should be looking at in the coming transfer window. And that's pretty much this one we're going to talk about right now, because we're talking about a goalkeeper of all positions, which is a very hot topic on the lips of a lot of Newcastle United fans. So we're going to get stuck right into this in a minute. Just before we do, a little reminder, if you haven't already, consider subscribing. We'd love you to come on board. We're over 5,400 subs. We've got loads of room for you on the channel. It's a great community. Click that button. You'll not regret it. Like the video, help it all get around YouTube, help the channel grow. And if you fancy it, being a member, it's only $1.99 a month, less than a pint of lager. You get early access to the videos and a great bit of crack as well in the community chat. So why not have a go with it? So let's get stuck in. Who am I talking about? Of course, I'm talking about goalkeepers. I've just said goalkeepers been a hot topic of conversation for Newcastle United. Now, before I go any further, we love Nick Pope. Nick Pope is a fantastic goalkeeper, great shot stopper. He's been brilliant since he come to the football club. 10 million quid from Burnley, absolutely fantastic piece of business. There's no doubt about that at all, right? However, Nick Pope does have some parts of his game that have been exploited and been exposed, certainly in the last 18 months, where we've continued to grow and get to new levels of the football that we're playing in terms of the league positions and the competitions that we're in as well. So there has been a need, I think, for quite often a goalkeeper who's better with their feet. Now that seems to be the kind of tagline for every football club, and it doesn't always work. Look at Manchester United with Onana; they've got rid of David De Gea, got a goalkeeper who's better with his feet, and he's shit. He's crap with his hands, and he can't keep any shots out the back of the net. So we don't want that kind of goalkeeper. However, this lad I'm going to talk to in a minute can do both. Great shot stopper and very good with his feet. You know who I'm talking about. It's this lad right here. It's Aaron Ramsdale of Arsenal. Now, Aaron Ramsdale has been brilliant for Arsenal since he signed from Sheffield United for 30 million quid. And he really looked the part. He looked like a proper goalkeeper. He's a bit mental. He's a bit crazy, goalkeepers are. Very good shot stopper, proper character, shouts his back four, winds the crowd up and everything else. But for a modern day goalkeeper, really, really good with his feet, and that sweeper keeper type mentality that Neuer made kind of the next level of goalkeeper, really, and they all do it now. Alisson and Ederson and everybody else, and Ramsdale very much fits that modern day goalkeeper template. But for some crazy reason, Mikel Arteta went out and signed David Raya from Brentford, and has basically almost shoved him in as number one, and Ramsdale now finds himself on the bench more than anything. So there's loads of rumours swirling around the 4 times captain England international that he's going to leave the football club because he doesn't want to sit on the bench. He wants to be a number one somewhere. So that brings us to this conversation. Would Newcastle United consider putting a bid in for Aaron Ramsdale? Now, before I get into the stats and look at it, Aaron Ramsdale will cost you probably about 60 million quid in the January transfer window. Chelsea are already interested. We know they've had their goalkeeper issues over the past couple of years. Bayern Munich apparently are interested as well because they're looking for a long-term fix for the goalkeeper situation. But could Newcastle United come to the party with the finance that we have and potentially sign Aaron Ramsdale to battle it out with Nick Pope for that number one spot? I don't think Martin Dubravka wants to be here anymore. I'm not sure what Karius is doing apart from being really, really good looking, as Zoolander would say. But Dubravka, for me, doesn't want to be here. I think he wants to be on his bike, and I think we could quite easily bullet him out in January and then look at Aaron Ramsdale. But that is a big investment in January, isn't it? 60 million quid with FFP and everything else. But let's look at the stats the kid has, and then we'll make a decision about it in the comments below. So the big thing for Aaron Ramsdale is 25 years old. He's got loads of years on Nick Pope. Now, I know a goalkeeper is a bit different. Nick Pope could probably play for another 7, 8, 9 years, possibly, in terms of his position. Goalkeepers can do that. But with the modern day demand of goalkeepers in terms of being that sweeper keeper mentality, I think the lifespan of a goalkeeper is actually getting smaller and smaller. Gone are the days of was it Steve Grizovic at 40-year-old, still whacking saves out left, right, and centre, and probably complaining his hip was hurting him for 4 days afterwards. Keepers have got to play now. That's what ended Joe Hart's lifespan at Manchester City, and that's why he's ended up and bouncing around a few clubs and gone to Celtic now. So you have to be able to play now. You have to be able to come out and control that ball and make a good pass and everything else, because if you don't, you'll get rushed by a pressing opposition. And we've seen that happen to Pope, and we've seen errors come from that. You think about the Liverpool red card, you think about the Brighton game. There's not many of them, I'll give him that, for Nick Pope. The errors are very, very minimalistic. But as we progress as a football team, do we want to play out from the back with a ball-playing goalkeeper? That is the question that only Eddie Howe knows the answer to. But 25 years old versus 31, so 41 appearances over last season. which is obviously Mark has based that on, because you can't do this season because, we just started and obviously Ramsdale isn't playing. So 46 goals conceded by Ramsdale, only 33 by Nick Pope. And it must be important to say, to caveat this, that Nick Pope had the best defence in the Premier League in front of him. So you have to caveat that a little bit in terms of the goalkeeper stakes. Arsenal had a really good back four too, but we had the best, because of the way that we played. 100 saves that Ramsdale made versus Pope's 96. So they're on par there. Goals conceded per 90 minutes. Obviously, Ramsdale is a little bit higher than Pope because of that great defensive personnel they had in front of him. In terms of the shots on target against, Ramsdale's a little bit higher than Pope in that regard. The post shot XG, Ramsdale again is a bit higher than Pope in that regard. Going down to the saves per 90 minutes, Ramsdale's actually making more saves slightly than Nick Pope per games. In terms of his save ratio, it's 70% versus Nick Pope 73. So they are really comparable in that regard. Touches is the big thing. You can see the touches are higher than obviously Nick Pope has, and then the passing, you can see the difference in the passing there. That's where the ability with the feet comes in from Ramsdale, that there is more passing from him than there is from Pope, who just generally is knocking short passes or the occasional long pass out from the back. And the average passing length, 32.3 for Ramsdale and 30.8 for Nick Pope there. And the defence act out of area, 1.25 for Ramsdale and 2.12 for Nick Pope. So there is a comparability there in terms of the two goalkeepers. Obviously, the age thing is a big thing, and I think the ability with the feet is another. Looking at the traffic light system as we do, the red, amber, greens, the goals conceded, you can see there he's quite high, he's up in the 75th percentile, so he's got great stats in that regard. The shots on target against, he's in the lower end of that conversation. The post shot XG is high. Post shot XG kind of shot to save ratio is kind of just above the middle bit there. His saves, he's in the the kind of lower 20 percentile there. His clean sheets though, he's right up in the 81st percentile, so he's got a great number of clean sheets. Touches a little bit lower, but passes attempted and average passing length is a bit higher in that regard in terms of the goalkeeping statistics. And the defense action out, he's well on the way to being in the higher echelons of that. The average distance of defensive action is a lot higher too, so he does come out and rush out a lot quicker and close people down a bit quicker in terms of that sweeper keeper mentality. The throws attempted and crosses stopped are kind of somewhere in the middle as well. But I mean, it is a big question. Nick Pope has done a great job for Newcastle United, and you've got to be careful, as I said, going to the Man United analogy, that you don't make the same mistake that they did and get rid of a really accomplished goalkeeper for a guy who ain't good enough. But Ramsdale is tried and tested in the Premier League, so it could be a conversation that the Newcastle transfer committee and the scouts are maybe having a conversation about. But 60 million nicker is a lot of money for a goalkeeper when you ain't really got a problem there in terms of that regard. If we had a complete spanner of a goalkeeper who's conceding goals and flapping like a seagull down Whitley Bay, nicking your chips for crosses, then maybe we'd have a problem. But we haven't got a goalkeeper like that. We've got a very accomplished goalkeeper who's a great shot stopper. The only issue that he has is when he comes out and his feet aren't great. And I have noticed since that Liverpool red card, he is a little bit wobbly when he comes out. He's a little bit hesitant. He's very quick to use his head. He's punching the ball a lot more. I don't know if that's an issue that he has an injury with his thumb or something like that, because he had that at the back end of the season. But he seems to be punching more than catching. So I just don't know whether Nick Pope's confidence has been a little bit rattled here. But one thing's for sure is Aaron Ramsdale will be a huge topic of conversation come the January transfer window. Will Newcastle United be in the party or not, sniffing around looking to sign a guy? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Should we just stick with what we've got with Nick Pope and be happy for it, and then not look to get another goalkeeper to challenge him potentially for that number one jersey? Or do you think the time has come to maybe upgrade on the goalkeeper? We'd love to hear from you. Smash the comment in. We always do our best to try and reply to you if we can. And as I mentioned at the start, if you haven't already, click subscribe. We'd love you to come and join us. Like the video, help the channel grow. And if you fancy being a member, the option's just down there. Less than £2 a month for great quality Newcastle United banter and a little bit of extra as well. You get early access to videos and little goodies that Mark's cooking up in the lab for you too. So I'd love to join. Smash the button. Why not become a member of Evermore and have a cracking day wherever you are. We'll be back with another rumour has it soon. I'm sure the closer we get to the end of the year, the more the rumours will start to grow. Have a good one, everyone. See you later. Cheers. Bye.